Dzień dobry, dear colleagues. I really hope that you're well and you and your families are safe during these times. I decided to make this video because I'm receiving a couple of questions from you related to what program or software to use in order to have video calls or video conferences with the students. I've been exploring a couple of those websites and softwares, and I already have my opinions. So I've been doing like experiments with them so I can see how they work and that I can see the tools they offer. So I'm going to share my point of view on them, the positive and negative, and maybe that's going to be helpful for you when it comes the time for you to choose what software or program to use in order to have the video conferences with the students. So number one is Google Hangouts Meet. So basically, Gmail always offered Google Hangouts that I guess you are familiar with. And basically, it's an application that allows you to have video calls. Even you can have video calls with a group of people, right? But now Gmail Meet, so it's the new application, but it's the same concept of having video calls, but now you, as a host, you have a couple more tools. And also like Google Meet now is a little bit more professional. So it's intended for professional meetings, basically. So there are a couple of good things about this one. For example, like positive point is that it's linked to Gmail. And basically right now, everyone has access to Gmail. So even kids who don't have their personal Gmail, they can use their parents. So basically it's very accessible for everyone. So that's one thing that is amazing because kids, they have access to it from their phones and from their computers. So it's pretty accessible. Secondly, you can have larger groups. That's the second positive thing. There is a 50-50 in this point because you can have large groups. Like last week, I had the first meeting with Nova. I invited everyone and I had 17, 18 kids connected at the same time. It was amazing. You can see all of them right there. But there is also one thing that makes things a little bit problematic, and is the fact that you cannot control their microphones. And that is, for me, that's a negative point when you have a big group. So that means that they can talk all the time, all of them at the same time. So all of them, they can be talking. And it's very hard from you, from behind the screen to tell everyone, excuse me, silence, now listen to me, please, don't talk. That's very exhausting. And that's very problematic. And at some point, nobody's understanding anyone and they are not listening to you. So my suggestion in this case is if you're going to use Google Hangouts Meet, Google Meet, don't use it with the whole group because maybe it's going to be a little bit chaotic. So it's amazing if you have, for example, I really think that 5 students per session is amazing. You can have a little bit of control in your lesson. But if you want to meet the whole group, 20 kids, it's going to be impossible. It's going to be so hard. And also, you have the chance to turn the microphone off from the students. So, for example, if I don't want you to talk, I can press the button and I don't listen to you. But students also have the power to unlock it, so they can turn their microphones on again. So they start playing with that. So it happened to me. And also they can turn the microphone off from the partners, so they can start playing with the microphones of everyone. I turn you off, you turn me off. Okay, so that is an aspect that I don't like, that I cannot control the microphones. Again, if your intention is to spread a message to everyone at the same time, okay, Google Meet is a nice platform, but I would suggest you have small groups in this one. Number 2, we have Zoom. Zoom is also an amazing app. It's pretty nice. In this one, different from Google Meet, you actually have control and power on the microphones of everyone. So basically, if I don't want anyone to talk, I just turn off their microphones and then nobody's talking and they just can listen to me. And if I want a specific student to talk, I just turn the microphone on of that specific student. So in that sense, it's pretty easy. And you can have also larger groups. So that's amazing. You can share your screen, you can share documents. They have a couple of tools that are very convenient for us teachers. However, there is a small thing that I don't like about Zoom, especially for young kids, for younger kids. The issue is that Zoom is not totally online. So you have to download the program. So if I want to use it, I have to download the program in my computer, and then all my kids, they have to download the program in their computers or the application in their cell phones. So maybe for older kids, that's going to be easier, but there are some kids that are not very skillful in softwares and stuff, and maybe that's going to create confusion, because sometimes there are some computers, depending on the configuration, the setting of the computers, that you need some permissions and stuff. So you can have some problem with that. They're going to ask you, excuse me, how can I install it? How can I do this? So that's one little part that I don't like. The fact that they cannot just go to a link and click. No, they have to download one thing, they have to install it. So maybe that can cause some problems. But if you find that, for example, if you find it like very useful, well, then you have to find a way to teach them or to let them know that they have to download the software and basically walk them through. So you have to teach them how to use it. So basically, for that little thing, I don't like it, because I don't want to give extra work to students. I just want the perfect application where they can just go, click, and they go directly to my video call. That's it. However, well, there are positive things. You can have larger groups, you can have control as a host, you can control microphones, you can control the chat. So there are a couple of tools, but the fact of downloading the software, I think, is something negative, especially with younger kids. And finally, I have number 3, which is Whereby. Whereby is a software that is very, very similar to Hangouts Meet. And I think that basically it gathers all the things, the positive things that I'm looking for. So Whereby is a software that is pretty similar to Hangouts Meet, but with a couple of differences that for me are amazing. One of them, first one, is that I can control the microphones. So if I want a specific student to talk, I can turn the microphone on of that student, they can talk. If I want everyone to talk, okay, I can do that perfectly. And if I don't want anyone to talk, not even among them, like nobody talking, just me, they listen to me, I can turn the microphones off. So I have control on that, okay? So that for me is amazing. Additionally, there is one tool that I found in Whereby that Zoom and Hangouts Meet don't have. And it's the fact that you can share a YouTube video instantly, on real time. You know what I mean? So right now I'm having a conversation with them and I want to share a video, and we can watch the video together at the same time. So for me, that's a tool that is amazing, because I guess all of us, we are using videos as a way to help us explaining some issues, or in order to bring up any conversation, any discussion, debate, whatever. So Whereby is amazing because you can share the video. So you say, okay, kids, we're gonna watch a video for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and boom, you play the video, and everyone is watching the video with you. So I think that that's a tool that is pretty amazing. So yes, you can control the microphones, you can share your screen in case you need to show something from your computer. And there is one thing on the negative, and something else. It's totally online, okay? It's basically like Hangouts. You just share a link, and they go click the link, and they go instantly into your video call, okay? So they don't have to download anything. It's online, so perfect. However, there is one downside. So there is something negative. For me, no problem, but maybe, I don't know if in your case that's going to be negative, and it's the fact that in Whereby you can only have a room, so it's called room, so you can have a conference maximum with 4 people. That's it. You cannot have more than 4 people. Why? Because you have to pay. If you want to have a larger group, then you have to pay to upgrade your software. So that's one thing that maybe for some people who aim to have a big conference, well, they can't, because it's maximum 4 people. But for me, for example, it's amazing, because I think that 4 students, that's the ideal group, because they listen to you, you can have some very intimate, like one-to-one interaction, you can have very nice conversation, and I think for me it's perfect. So that one is amazing. So I think that that's somehow a 50-50 like point of view. I think that for me there is no problem, so maximum 4 people. But I really think that Whereby is somehow the best. You can have some control on on the microphones, you can share your screen, you can share YouTube videos. The chat is amazing. And something that I almost forgot. When you turn the microphone off, so the students, they are not talking, they are just listening to you, they can chat. And you have the option, they have the option to raise their hand or send an emoticon if they want to talk. So that's amazing because you are talking, you see that you have 4 participants, and if they want to talk, they go and click the hand, and there is like there are some icons, and they click the hand, and then you see a hand of one of the students. So you can go and turn the microphone on of that student. They can talk. So basically, they can take turns, and you know when they want to talk or not. So that's, for me, that's amazing. That's perfect. So I really, really recommend that one. You can explore it by yourself. That's amazing. And yeah, so I think that Whereby somehow combines all the things that I'm looking for. And finally, I have 2 comments that are very personal comments that I want to share with you. One of them is that if you want to do the video call or the video conference with students, it's because you want to listen to them, all right? Because if your purpose is just to spread information, to give instructions, basically to give a lesson, and what you want is them listening to you, then I suggest you to create a video. It's going to be way easier for everyone. So just you can explore creating videos with your phone, with your computer, with your camera, whatever you have, and it's going to be easier for everyone. But if you really want to go into conferencing, so that is because you really want to listen to them. So that's my suggestion. Like, don't pretend to talk with everyone when you have 15 kids connected at the same time. It's going to be a little bit problematic, and then you see time running out, and basically you are not done with what you want to say. So if you want to have conferencing, my suggestion is have small groups, 5 kids maximum, for example. You can talk to everyone. You can have a round of questions. You can have a round of opinions, comments, and you can have some real interaction with them. Otherwise, as me, when I want to just spread information, I'm just creating videos for all of them, and that's it. It's way easier for everyone. And secondly, I really want to encourage you to use these online tools, like creating videos in the conference thing, because sometimes as teachers we are also getting a little bit stressed. It's sometimes exhausting just creating material, sending things, receiving things. But when you get the chance to talk to them, it relaxes the situation a little bit. Because, for example, I'm using basically 80% of the time to talk about what I want to talk, and then I have like 5 minutes or something like that to talk about them, to talk about me, what you're doing in your free time, a couple of anecdotes, stories. So they really, really appreciate that, and honestly, they are really happy to see you. They're gonna be so happy to see you and to talk to the partners, and that's gonna make things easier for you. Instead of creating a bunch of material, you can create a lesson where you can talk, and when you finish the lesson, you can give some extra work, depending on what you talk. Or you can say verbally, okay, from now on, you're going to do this, this, and this. So you can use the conferencing to give instructions, to give everything. So you don't have to create more extra material. So you can use that personal interaction to spread the information and to give the extra work. So I really encourage you to do it, because that's going to make your work also a little bit easier. And well, I really think that all these things that I'm saying are a little bit helpful for you. And if you have any question, whatever you may need, please ask. If I have the question, I'll be happy to help you. All right? So have a good evening now, and see you soon. Bye-bye.